Today we are going to talk about solving a right triangle and the Pythagorean identity, but mostly just solving a right triangle. It's not going to be completely brand new. It's just going to be a new thing to do, like understanding, what directions mean. So let's first review a few things, though. Let's determine the 6 trigonometric ratios for each of the following. So this is just one. So we're going to draw our right triangle. Label an angle theta. So sine and cosecant are reciprocals of each other. Cosine and secant are reciprocals of each other. And tangent and cotangent are reciprocals of each other. So we know sine is the so part, the opposite over the hypotenuse. So if I'm looking at this is my hypotenuse, my opposite, and my adjacent. Do we have questions on why I labeled those the way that I did? Because I'm not going as slow through that as I used to, just because we've kind of covered that. So opposite is 8, hypotenuse is 17. So what can we do to find that third side then? We can do the Pythagorean theorem. 17 is my hypotenuse, so that is my C value. I don't know what the middle number is. What's 17 squared? I think it's 289. Is it 289? Okay, that's what I thought it was, but I didn't know. So x is 25. So make sure you're paying attention to this, especially if you haven't been here. Or if you've been here and you have literally no clue what's going on, like these we're reviewing. It's also 15, you are right. All right. So what is the sine, Madison? Ben, what is the cosecant? Sorry. So the cosecant goes with the sine, and the sine is 8 over 17, so that would be... Landon, what is the cosine?
Cosine is 15 over 17.
Good. Alana, what is the secant?
17 over 15.
You're fine. Brandon Veman, what is the tangent? Tangent is O over A, opposite over adjacent. Yep. There you go. So, Nick, what is the cotangent?
15 over 8.
Very good. So, that's just reviewing it that. Remember, when you see the word ratio, it just means to write down the fraction. Do not write them as decimals. Simplify them if you can, which we cannot in this case here. So questions on that one? Okay. Next one. Determine the 6 trigonometric ratios for the following. So we know our 6 trig ratios are sine of theta. And the reciprocal of that is the cosecant. The cosine of theta. And the reciprocal of that is the secant. And then the tangent of theta, with the reciprocal of the cotangent. So first we have to find the other side. So I have x squared plus 13 squared equals 19 squared. I don't know what 19 squared is.
361.
Is it 192? Did I do that right? Don't worry, just simplifying this 192. It's taking forever. We all understand why I'm doing the factor tree? Okay. So I have 2. How many 2's do I have? 6 of them. And a 3. So I look for my groups of 2. So I pull out a 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8, and I keep a 3 underneath, so x is 8 radical 3. So, opposite of theta is 13, the hypotenuse is 19, and 8 root 3 is the adjacent. Should be thinking, oh great, now I'm going to have to rationalize because there's a radical in this problem. So give me the sine of theta, Mariah.
13 over 19.
Corey, what is the cosecant? The cosecant is the reciprocal of the, remember an S goes with a C, so it's the reciprocal of the sine. So what's the reciprocal of the sine?
19, 13.
Paige, what is the cosine of theta?
8 over 19.
And that can't be simplified because 8 and 19 don't have anything in common. So what is the secant of that, Jordan?
19 over 8 squared 3.
Which means we're going to have to rationalize. So, what do I have to multiply numerator and denominator by?
3.
Good. What's the square root of 9? 3, so we have 19 root 3 over 8 times 3, which is 19 root 3 over 24. Do 19 and 24 simplify? No. Sophia, what's the tangent?
Just like the original.
What do you mean by like the original one?
Like I already rationalized it.
Yeah, before you rationalize it.
13, 8.
Good. And like Sophia said, she had to rationalize it. So what do we have to multiply by? Stop. What do you have to multiply by to rationalize it? You're still talking, and I'm right in between you two. Stop. The square root of 9 is 3, so we get 13 root 3 over 24. So which one would be easier to reciprocate? 13 over 8 root 3, the original, or 13 root 3 over 24?
Second one.
Okay, if you reciprocate the second one in pink, you're going to have a radical in the denominator, so you're going to have to rationalize again, right? So which one is easier, actually? The original. So we get 8 root 3 over 13. All right, so that's kind of a review of that. Now we're going to be talking about solving the triangle. Okay, so let's pay attention. Solving the triangle. You're going to want to write this down. Means find all missing sides and all missing angles. So we are missing these 3 pieces. So that's what we're going to be solving. Tell me how you want to find one of those pieces. It doesn't matter which one you want to find. Just tell me which one you want to do first and how you want to do it. Landon,
AB
how can we find AB?
by doing Pythagorean theorem of 6 squared plus 1 squared equals 1 squared.
So we know 2 sides of a right triangle, so we can do the Pythagorean theorem. So we're going to do the Pythagorean theorem there. So I have my factor tree of 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 17. So that simplifies to 2 square root of 2 times 3 times 17. I don't know what 6 times 17 is. What is 6 times 17? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So AB is 2 root 102. Okay, how can I find the measure of angle A? Alana?
You put 20 as the opposite of the hypotenuse, and then the 6 is the adjacent.
So if we're referencing angle A, she says that our opposite is 20 and our adjacent is 6. Do you guys agree with that? Do you have any issues with that? So she's going to be using trigonometry. And she knows the opposite and the adjacent is what she's looking at. So which trig function is that? The tangent. So we're going to find tangent of A as the opposite over the adjacent. When you're finding angles, you have to use the inverse. So we have tan inverse of 20 over 6 equals A. You have it? What is it, Cameron? Okay, so now there's 2 ways we could find angle B now. I don't care which way you choose, but somebody needs to tell me how they're going to find angle B. Melinda? You want to use trigonometry again? Okay, so we are referencing angle B. What are you going to use if you're referencing angle B? What's your opposite and your hypotenuse, adjacent, any of those things? What is opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse? Any of those pieces you want to use? Opposite is? Nope. You're referencing angle B now. So opposite and adjacent switch, right? So good. So we put up SOHCAHTOA and we can use tangent again. I would not do it this way, just so you guys know. I'm going to show you the other way. I don't really care that you're doing it this way, but... So we do tangent of B is 6/20. So we use the inverse to find an angle. So tan inverse is 6/20 equals B. So what's the measure of angle B? What did you get? 16.7? Okay. How else could I have done this without trigonometry? Without trig? Are you doing without trig, Alexi? What did you do?
I added 73.3 and 90.
So that's 163, right?
Yeah.
And then you subtracted that from
40.
180 and you get the same thing, right? Doesn't matter which way you do it, as long as you get to the answer. Okay, so solving the triangle, find all missing sides, all missing angles. Questions there so far? So we're finding all sides and all angles. So we need to find AC, angle A, and the measure of angle B. Okay, what do you guys want to find first? So Bryce, tell me what you would want to find first. You want to find angle A first, okay. So we're referencing angle A. What do I know on this triangle? What two pieces do you know on the triangle? And the other one is the? What? What's the other side you know? Is the? So we write down SOHCAHTOA. And we know an opposite and a hypotenuse. So which trig function are we going to use? What? So that's 3/15. Whenever we find an angle, we need to use the?
Negative 1.
Yep, which is the inverse. Okay, so do the sine inverse of 3/15. 11.5?
Yeah.
Okay. Ayana, what would you want to find next? We found angle A. Now you have the choice between AC and B. You want to find AC. How would you find AC? You use the Pythagorean theorem. Do we know our hypotenuse? What is our hypotenuse, Ayana? Okay. So I have A squared plus 3 squared equals 15 squared. I'm really good at subtracting. That doesn't even make sense. That would be 108. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3. I have a groups of 2 and a group of 3. So 2 times 3 is 2 times 3 is, so this is 6 root 6. Okay, now we have to find B. How can I find B? Bryce?
Add 11.5, 90, 70.
I know the ear kicked back on. Is it 105? Or 101, I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you did that minus 180, right? You just said yes to say yes to me. Is that what you said? Okay, what did you get and what's your answer? Do you guys want me to show you another way to do that, or are we good with that way? You're good?
Hi. Do you happen to know the classroom code right off the top of your head for Algebra 1?
No.
Okay.
But I,
Would you be able to
yeah,
at some point?
yeah, like right now.
Oh, I don't care.
That's fine. Okay, guys, get started on the next one, and I'll continue it with you guys in a second here.
Or just before the end of the block.
Or right now.
Naomi Lewis wants to join your classroom
Oh.
from last year.
Yeah, I know.
I said I'm sure that would be fine. That's an L. Okay.
All right. You guys are on this one, right? Okay, what are the 3 missing pieces we're trying to find in this one page? Okay. Did you say it comes out great? Is that what you said? What did you say? It comes out what? It doesn't. It comes out as a whole number? Yeah, it's a triple. All right, so what piece of information, Brandon Veman, would you like to find first? FH, measure of angle F, or measure of angle G? Huh? And how are you going to do that? What's the other way when you go 2 sides? Something theorem good. Do you know the formula? Say the formula. Say it.
A2.
A squared. Yep.
Plus B squared.
There we go. The Pythagorean theorem is what he's referring to there. So we are going to find FH. We know the hypotenuse is 13. So I got B is 12. We don't have to reduce that. It's nice and easy. So 5 squared plus B squared equals 13 squared. So 5 squared is 25. Ben, how can I find one of the angle measures? I don't care which one you want me to find. Just choose one and tell me how I'm going to find it. How are you going to find angle F? Okay, so we're going to use SOHCAHTOA. So what's my opposite of F? What's my hypotenuse? Careful, opposite the 90 is your hypotenuse.
Oh, 13.
And so that makes this the adjacent. So you know all of the sides here. So it doesn't matter which trig function you want to use. So what's your favorite trig function, Ben? Sine, cosine, or tangent? Tangent is? Okay. Thanks, Corey, for telling him tangent. Okay, if we're doing the tangent of this one, so tangent of F, what would your ratio be, Ben? Perfect. So we do the tan inverse of 5 over 12 to get the angle back. $22.6. So Brandon, vote. How are you going to find G then?
You add 22.6 and 90 and angle G equals 180.
So what do you get for the measure of angle G then?
67.4.
How are we doing with it? The big thing with this unit is not that it's necessarily super difficult, it's that there's like 1,000 different directions you need to know. So like you need to know when you're just writing the ratios, right? You need to know when you're just finding a single angle or just a single side, or when you're solving the triangle, which means everything. Or if you need to get the exact answer, which means you have to use a 45, 45, 90 or 30, 60, 90. I believe you guys can do all those things separately. It's when they're all pushed together on a test and you have to know what those directions mean. So make sure you're going back on old homework assignments and understanding what the directions are asking you. Yeah.
Are we gonna have about to have a worksheet with a bunch of word problems on? Can we just get our homework done?
No. I want to do one more here. No, that's the quiz. Just kidding. 1 second. I'm a mess. No.
She said she got advanced homework and we have a worksheet with word problems.
Yeah, that's the angle of elevation and depression ones that we're doing on Friday. You're welcome. I made those worksheets. You're welcome. So what are we trying to find in this triangle here? So we need to find x equals, y equals, and angle P. So, Madison, which one do you want to find first? What if I tell you you can, yes you can, I'm just lying. Go on. Tell me how you're going to find x. What is your reference angle?
30.
Okay. And we're trying to find x. So x is what to 33? And we need to use this 16 because it's an actual number, right? What is that one?
Opposite.
So what is opposite and adjacent? Which trig function is that? Good. Tangent of 33 is opposite over adjacent. So I multiply by the denominator first. So is x tan of 33 simplified yet? Is x by itself yet? No, what do I still have to do, Madison? Good, so tell me somebody else tell me what 16 over tan 33 is. You got what?
24.6.
Sophia, now what do you want to find? How are you going to find the angle P? Okay. Did I do something wrong? Okay, I thought it sounded like, why did she get that? Like, she must be doing something wrong again.
I was like
No.
I said it might have equal to 80, but
Yeah,
I really couldn't find equals to 123.
Yeah.
So I was like, how did you get 123?
that's why.
Yeah.
How can I find y? There's multiple ways we can find y. How are we going to do it? Cole, how are we going to find y?
You could use sine.
Okay. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So I'm assuming you're using angle 33 again. Am I right with that? So we can do the sine of 33 equals 16 over y. Cole, if we have y sine of 33, is it time to put in our calculator yet?
No, you have to divide by sine 33.
So what's 16 divided by sine of 33? What'd you say? 29.3 or 4? Which one? Okay, so could you have used the Pythagorean theorem there as well? Did anybody do that? You did? Did you get 29.4 as well?
Yeah.
See if you get it at the same time as well, and then we'll go from there.